Alright, so today we're going to be checking out Lessons in Good Trouble from Minecraft. So this has been a hot topic on Twitter, and if you've seen my Twitter, my initial opinions is this is more woke propaganda, because Mojang definitely has a history of going towards the EI stuff, more inclusivity, and inherently inclusivity, I can't pronounce that word, but being inclusive is not inherently a bad thing. But the problem is they use this for white guilt because of what happened in, like, back in the 1800s, 1700s, and yeah. I mean, yeah, racial things always existed in America, but I feel like they use the historical lessons in bad faith. They're not using them as, like, okay, this is what happened, so we don't do it again, but they're doing it as, this is what happened, and you should feel ashamed, and you should feel less human because of what happened. It's pretty much just a white guilt indoctrination, but who knows, maybe this is actually educational stuff for kids. So I have Bedrock. I got Bedrock, and this was a free DLC. So I'm like, okay, we're just gonna go ahead and check it out because maybe it's actually not indoctrination. Maybe they are actually trying to push. They want to push the civil rights education, right? Like they want to say the kids, this is what happened, and that racism is stupid because at the end of the day, racism is a stupid concept. We're all human at the end of the day. That, I mean, that's kind of self-explanatory. So we're gonna go ahead and play this world, and we're gonna create into it. Yeah, I can't do that, and I've also decided to go in survival mode because why not? Unless I need to go into creative to spawn stuff. But so apparently this is not just also American, but this is also global. So this is Daria. I don't know who I guess the narrator. Hey, it's Daria. Were you able to get to City Hall? Where are you? I've got bad news. I'm not going to be able to meet you there. The streets are closed for demonstrations or something. Just like in real life, right? Except I guess the civil rights protests weren't as violent. I mean, I'm sure that I don't know the full extent of every single protest that happened during the civil rights movement, but I could probably guarantee they are not anywhere to how they are today. Like if you look into Minneapolis or Los Angeles, but I'm really sorry. We'll have to work on our civics report later. But hey, since you're already there, you should find out what is going on. Maybe even get a quote for our paper. So like I assume this is targeted for kids, but like what kid is going to understand any of this? Because like I assume like the target audience for kids is maybe like 6 to 17, let's say, but even like I wouldn't say like this stuff is more targeted towards like 6 to 13. But if their targeted audience is for like 6 year olds, 6 plus, 8 plus, the 8 year old crowd, hi, the 8 year old crowd is not gonna be is not understanding any of this dialogue. I'm doing good. How are you doing? I'm just checking out this DLC. I want to see what it really is going, and it's going good. How? I don't know. Look for someone in charge. I have to go. Talk to you soon. I hang up. So we were on the phone. This is protest day. Mouse. I'm on mouse and keyboard. Okay. Okay. So I can't move. They are immediately restricting my freedom of movement. There are people holding signs. There are, out of all these people, it's interesting to see how all the police is only white people. Like, I'm sure. I don't know, like, what the diversity of law enforcement was back then. I don't know how it was, but I stream almost daily. Almost daily. Now we're gonna do a check real quick. I want to check it real quick. Um, let's see. Police Department diversity, and I don't know what years is supposed to be. Let's say 1950s. 1950s about 1950s. Yeah, they were. I'd say that they would probably be mostly towards like American white because yeah, so less than 4% would be like black, but it's kind of I don't know. I feel like there would also be like more like Hispanic. You'd probably like see Hispanic. You'd see probably other right still in here, even if they're not necessarily black. But I don't. Let's see. Let's see. Uh, no, I commissioned somebody to do it. Let's see. And if you're here to sell art, I'm not interested. Alright, so limited roles. Yeah, women were allowed. Let's see. What city is this in particular? I don't know. Okay, so I go here. Let's see, so. Chart. Is there like a chart? Let's see. No, I'm not interested. See. That's for 1990s. Is there a chart for like here? Let's see. I'm also getting a lot of this information from Google, so who knows how accurate it is, but yeah, I would assume probably too that I can see how back then police departments were majority white because of I guess racial laws didn't really exist till the what was it, the Civil Rights Act of 64. So if this is supposed to be in the 50s, then I guess I can see it, though. Yeah, the Civil Rights Act is debatable on a lot of things. Alright, so I guess we'll just look around here. Alright, move forward. Of course, there are a bunch of riot officers. I'm just curious what year this is. The year would definitely help. Okay, let's see. That's far enough, citizen. The protest has forced us to close City Hall today. I need you to stand back from the barriers. The crowd is getting rowdy. We are going to start arresting trespassers. Now please disperse. Attention, police has declared this assembly unlawful. Disperse now or you'll be arrested. Escape? What the fuck? What am I... Okay. Let's see. I'm curious. I'm curious, and it's gonna be hard to find these questions, so I'm just gonna ask ChatGPT, even though there's a heavy bias on it. Let's see. It's just interesting how they're portraying it to be violent, like a heated, violent protest. Because during the civil rights movement, I mean, sure, there were probably, I'm sure that there were a couple violent, like, incidences, but having that much riot police, I don't think I don't think, like, yeah, riot police were for sure involved at some point, but it was not as restrictive as that. Because, like, you saw in a lot of the crowds, they were protesting, they were marching, especially in a lot more famous photos, but they were not rioting. So yes, they were protected under the First Amendment to do all that, and the First Amendment existed back during the civil rights protest. It's not like that the U.S. government was being a fascist dictatorship during the civil rights movement. So let's see. Talk to the librarian. That's better. I got a lot of It's a lot quieter in here, especially now. Not a lot of folks are visiting the library with that good trouble going outside. Good trouble. That's what an old friend of mine used to call it. Good trouble. It was his way of saying we need to stand up against injustice and inequality, even if it means, okay, but what's injustice and equality? Is injustice and equality like ICE agents deporting illegal immigrants who entered the United States without vetting? Like, or is it like, because like the civil rights movement was like actually a genuine like injustice and inequality movement, especially with the black community, because a lot of things were not even after the civil rights law was passed in 1964, interracial marriage was not a thing until 1967, right? So I mean, back then that was actually more genuine civil rights movement. So there's all kinds of trouble, but good trouble can help make the world a better place. Okay, but what's good trouble? You need to define good trouble first. Because if it's like what Minneapolis is doing right now, that is not good trouble. Like, they can protest, don't get me wrong, they can march, they can protest, but you cannot be harassing federal agents doing their job. You can't do that. You can't pull guns on them. You can't hit them with their car. You simply can't do that. Sure, I can give you lots of examples. Are you familiar with the Greensboro 4 in 1960? They staged a sit-in at the Woolworth's lunch counter. Let's look that up. Greensboro sit-ins, 1960. So let's look up this. Let's actually look up this event. When was this uploaded? That's a question. Here, let's see. Exit close. Updated in January 2026. That's interesting. So the Greensboro sit-in was a civil rights protest that started in 1960 when a young African-American student staged a sit-in at a segregated Woolworth's lunch counter in Greensboro, North Carolina, and refused to leave until after being denied service. So this one in particular was about the segregation policies, right? Like, black people had to use different bathroom from white people, or different seating areas, which unironically I have seen people wanting to resegregate because it's going to make the black people safer from the white people. I have seen people actually propose that. So I think we're going a little bit backwards in history there. Let's see. Woolworths was a small store in the US that had a small diner where people could eat lunch. However, black people were often denied service in those states just for the skin color. I mean, according to I could see them being denied, but also according to the History Channel, it says that they more times not denied service, just they had to sit in a separate area. So that's a little bit misleading, but okay. That's sad. Greensboro 4 went up to that Woolworth's lunch counter, sat down, and ordered, knowing full well they would not be served. But this time, when they were denied service, they didn't move, they stayed right there. So this is like another Rosa Parks movement, right? Like, she she sat in front of the I think it was like the front seat of the bus was, right, because the black people had to sit in the back of the bus otherwise. So this is just another Rosa Parks incident, kinda. Well, the police were called out. But they couldn't do anything as the men were just sitting there, and they remained sitting there right up until the store closed for the day. The next day, they returned to the lunch counter and sat there all day again. That's interesting, actually, that the police didn't remove them, because in 2026 it works differently, because I don't know how trespassing laws like worked, right? So I'm not saying they should have been trespassed. I think it's fine if people sit together, but at the same time, it's like in 2026, if somebody wants you removed from your property, they can just do it for any reason. But I don't know what the laws were back then. The laws then and now are completely different. It worked. The next day, they were joined by more protesters. Soon, the local news showed up, and within days, over 300 students had joined them in their sit-in protest. And as the news spread, it sparked more sit-in protests all over the U.S. So kind of like a Rosa Parks. Except Rosa Parks, I think, got arrested. No, not them. I didn't get started making good trouble until I met Mr. John Lewis. Now that man, he got into kinds of good trouble in his life. So John Lewis, let's look up John Lewis. Yeah. Born in 1940, damn. He died, though, like 6 years ago. He was a civil right as a chairman of the Student Nonviolence Coordination Committee from 1963 to 66. He was a key organizer of the March on Washington and a leader in the Selma to Montgomery marches. Okay. Yeah, and I mean, John Lewis, I mean, he died in 2020, so. Pancreatic cancer, it says. One and the same from sit-ins, march, freedom rights. Oh, okay. I was March 7th, 1965. I was a French-faced university student in those days. So I can't get over, like, let me just move my avatar real quick. So, the one thing I have to say that's kind of goofy is how they portray them as villagers. Gotta say that's kind of goofy. It was March 7, 1965. I was a fresh-faced university student in those days. My friends and I heard about the protests happening from Selma to Montgomery. We all piled in, my friends, blah, blah, blah. We're... It was awful. Jimmy Lee Jackson. Peaceful protesting. People protesting was Jimmy Lee Jackson. He was attacked in a cafe and died a few days later. Tragedy. But I kind of wonder. I wonder how much racial tension in the U.S. is kind of just manufactured by. Is manufactured by the government, right? What the hell? That's insane. Yeah, so John Lewis did, in fact, lead a march. Same on Washington. I don't know what the route was, but it was in Washington. I'll see if I can find pictures of the march. Here, photos. I wonder if there are any colorized ones. Martin Luther. Was Martin Luther on that march? I don't know. Yeah, so the crowd was a lot bigger than what it showed, of course. Yeah, mainly black people, but there's also a decent amount of white people too, so. I know the photo I'm looking at right now, which I can't pick out from the site. Oh, no, I can. Yeah, I'm gonna show the picture if I can. If I can pull it from this website. Okay, it's not letting me pull it. Protest go. A hardworking daddy in the hospital. Let's see. Yeah, so the March on Washington is, yeah, one of the more important events because it's also where Luther King made his famous speech of "I have a dream," and then, you know, over 250,000 people attended. I don't see any reports, though, of police violence on that day of protest. I'm sure there might have been a couple incidences, but I guess it would depend case on case. That he recovered a few weeks. Doctor says he suffered head trauma. I don't see anything, so. Walk with the protesters across the bridge, okay. You can't hit them. I see.
He campaigned against segregation.
Okay, so this is a separate event. This would be Birmingham, Alabama in 1963, so. Okay. There was no call. But that happened in Alabama, not on the March of Washington. I think it may have happened the same day, actually. It happened the same day, but different locations. And that's different areas, because you have to think the North is the Union is who, like, Washington D.C. is, I would say it would be in Union territory, and Union territory, of course, were the ones that kind of helped fight and, you know, help with the slave trade at the end of the Civil War. The South, yeah, no, the Democrats down there loved their slaves, so yeah, I can see the South back then deploying more violent tactics against it. That's the South, and back then they were a lot more Democrat focused, so. Blah, blah, blah. I don't care about this stuff. Well, John might be the. You know. But it's interesting because people said also this pack has equation. Yeah, because I said that there was also more on this, not just African American or black people's liberation, but there's like other countries. Also, my question is, how do they make all these DLCs, yet they can't make a good update for like Java edition? So hit that. Anti-apartheid. Nelson Mandela. Okay, so Nelson Mandela served 27 years in prison in his homeland of South Africa. Mandela fought against the government. Yeah, South Africa is kind of a hellhole of a nation to put. Because, like, don't get me wrong, I love South Africa, and like one of my favorite VTubers is South African. Like, I do, and of course, you know, Elon Musk, genius, he's South Africa. So, but the government there is horrible. Like, yeah, there's always in South Africa there has always been racial problems, and there still is. There's still black versus white, white versus black in South Africa. Like, here's the thing: in America, a white man and a black man can respect each other. We can be friends. I have friends who are black. I have friends who are white. I have friends who are Hispanic, who are Asian. I have friends from, I have friends who are, I don't know if I have Arab friends, but I do know people who are Muslims, right? Like, you can respect a person, but like then they want to say America in 2026 is still the inequality is still a rampant problem. That is not true. If you want to see a problem with racial equality, go over to South Africa, because right now, you know, it's very well known that the government is encouraging black people to hunt and kill white people. That's a known fact. So, and then of course, like countries like Haiti, they've pretty much eradicated white people. They've eradicated white people from their population. So you can't say racism is only towards one race. It happens everywhere. It just depends on the country and the different circumstances, I guess. But when you compare America to other nations, racism, it exists, but it's definitely not as bad as the media pushes. And that's why I think a lot of racism is also manufactured and taught. Because, like, at the end of the day, we're all humans. I don't believe in evolution. I'm a Christian. I believe in 6-day creation, 7th-day rest theology. And God created one race of humans. God created one type of human, Adam, and then Eve. People then dispersed amongst the nations. And the reason why we have races is because depending on where you're living and depending on the culture you're in, you have different exposure to the sun. Like, that's literally all skin color indicates, is how much exposure your ancestors had to the sun. That's literally all the difference is. Like, white people are white, tend to be more white up north, or tan, because, well, yes, we do work in the fields and stuff. We don't have that hot, humid, or arid climate. We have a colder, more tundra, more forest-based climate. You go down to the DRC, you go down to Nigeria. They're more jungle, they're more outside, it's more humid, there's more elemental exposure. So yeah, skin color is not race, because it's not different race, it's not different species, just a different person, and depending on how much their ancestors worked in the sun. That's literally all race indicates. Now, I think it's stupid to hate people based on race. Like, it's funny to make jokes about races. I think it can be funny. Remove signs without being seen by the authorities. Okay. This is just so random. Like, I understand what this is trying to accomplish, but be honest, what kid is going to play this and actually understand what's going on? Like, yeah, they're taught in schools. That's fine. But they're taught in a way kids can understand, right? I don't think they're understanding with this. The only thing is like, oh, Minecraft. That's all it really is. And again, I'm not super knowledged on the civil rights. I'm not going to say I am the most knowledged on civil rights movement, because I know brief history on it, but I don't know it well detailed. I'm not interested in art, thank you. There we go. But yeah. I'm not the most well versed on the civil rights movement back in like the 1950s because I don't live in the fucking 50s. But it takes literally no effort to say, yeah, people are people and they're chill, right? Like, yeah, then you like people will say then, yeah, like there's a coordination to like black people being more violent. But again, I don't think it's necessarily black people are violent. I think it's the culture they live in because like in America, the reason why black people tend to have higher homicide rates is because they tend to live in cities, especially like in the South, and gang culture has been ingrained into black people's. Where's the last fucking poster? Gang culture has been kind of integrated, hood culture, through music, through media, and then it kind of perpetrates it, right? And then of course like revenge culture and all that. So I think it's a culture. I think it's the culture they have behind it that makes it appear that they have more violent tendencies. But then like I have a bunch of friends. I've known a bunch of chill people who are not black people who are not violent, and I think it's because they didn't live in that culture. So I think culture is what defines how dangerous somebody can be, and not race, right? Anyways. Where's Mandela at? I have to find Mandela. Nelson Mandela. You're not Mandela. Who the fuck's Mandela? You're not Mandela. Are you Mandela? No. Where the hell is she? Mandela. Mandala. Ah. I should have gone water. There's a lot of yapping in the stream. I got cat now. I had to do it again. Did I have to do it again? I don't think so. Yeah, I'm trying to find Nelson. I don't know where she is though. Oh, over here. But I mean, is that propaganda? I think some stuff. I don't know. I feel like it's being pushed for a bad reason. Like, yeah, it's history. It's definitely history of America, and of course, famous. I have a dream speech. Is it propaganda? I don't think it necessarily is. I think some stuff is being portrayed to. I think one problem with this is kind of trying to attack empathy. It's trying to weaponize empathy. I think that's the biggest problem, and I think their goal is to create white guilt. Like as a historical lesson, it's fine because it happened. I think history should be taught. But the moment you try to use history to weaponize the people of now, it's are trying to make people now guilty. Like, should the Germans of today be guilty for what happened in 1940? Should the Japanese be guilty for what happened in 1940? Should the Egyptians be guilty for the slave trade that they took part in? Like, no, it happened, but no. Because people of today didn't do it. So, I don't think it's necessarily bad, but I don't know. Again, I'm not the most well versed in civil rights history because it never interested me. Because I don't think it's really that important. I think the only thing that's important is, can you treat a human like a human at the end of the day? Because at the end of the day, like, this stuff is kind of weird. It's like, the march is kind of weird. Like, Like, I would much rather it just be the cutscene here than actually have the player walk inside the march. Because I don't think it really does anything. What would I rate this? I'm not gonna do all of these. It's just a lot. Independence for India. Women's suffrage. I think we'll do one more. We'll do the Orange Book. Yeah, for sure. Put in your input. I'm not the most well versed on the civil rights movement because, like, I love history, but like American politics has never really, like, historical American politics has not been super interesting. But at the same time, I just want to see like how, when I'm saying that I want to see if this is propaganda, I just want to see how it's being delivered, right? Because if it's telling the story, that's whatever. That's history. It happened. But are they trying to like weaponize empathy? Are they trying to push white guilt doctrine? Is that the stuff they're trying to push, or is it like actually like here's the history, right? And of course, Mojang is part of Microsoft, who is a company that has to be expected to uphold these agendas. So, and I think Bill Gates is a satanic globalist. So, John Lewis understood that every child had a right to receive education regardless of gender. I don't know how to pronounce that name. I'm not going to try. It's a young Pakistani woman who believed this as well. This is her story. Okay. Under the Taliban. That's interesting. Mala. We're just going to call her Mala. Mala is easy. Malala. We're just calling her Mala. Was a young girl. She wrote about... Also, it's interesting that they're covering Pakistan in this. Pakistan, India. She survived. They tried to end her low. So she pissed off the Taliban and they wanted to kill her, but she survived that. Okay. Okay, can I move? Malala. Malala. But yeah, if you have any input on this, I'm down to hear your opinions on this. Hello, you must be a visitor. Welcome to our... So we're at the village, and the Taliban is preventing us from going to school because women... Yeah, Taliban is pretty bad. And I know Pakistan is still very underdeveloped as a nation, so girls do not belong in school. Okay, y'all, the Taliban was definitely not holding up signs protesting. They were definitely using more firearms. I don't think Mojang wanted to animate firearms. What's you? Oh, is that Mala? Gather. School children. Gather school children? What? Okay. Educate. Only to be mother and wives. Yeah, I'm sure you want this girl to be your wife, Mr. Epstein. Yeah, I'm sure. Sicko. Be like your holy prophet Muhammad. 9-year-old wife. Alright. Another one. Jeffrey Epstein? I don't know, but he's alive somewhere, so. But that guy over there is definitely an Epstein-like. Because I'm pretty sure he wants to marry one of these girls. But to be fair, Muhammad married a 9-year-old, so I'm sure he just wants to follow his holy prophet role model. Look up Aisha. No, wait. No, he married Aisha when she was 6. Alright, with Hitler on Greenland. I think Hitler is dead because it's been like, geez, like 100. He's definitely dead by now. Like, even though he didn't kill himself, he's definitely dead by now. Because it's been like, he was like 60, like what, in his 50s or 60s by the end of the Second World War. So I think Hitler is dead. I think Epstein is still alive though. I think he's still alive. And I think a whistleblower in the... Yeah, to find one more. And the whistleblowers in a document said that he was wheeled out on a wheelchair. So I think he's alive. But okay, so we found all her classmates. This one isn't wearing a hijab. This one is not wearing a hijab. That is what is it called in Islam? It's a haram, or whatever, to not wear a hijab as a woman. Yeah, no, we're gonna have to report to you, and we're gonna also have to report you to the Taliban for that, I'm afraid. Oh boy. Give you our sincerest thanks. I don't know how strict Pakistan is with I don't know how strict Pakistan is with hijabs. I don't know if it's I don't think Pakistan is as strict as Afghanistan, but they're still pretty bad when it comes to Islamic rule. Rebuilt the school, okay. Built and talked to Mala. Okay, so we have to build. How do we build? This, and we're gonna get a stairs. Here, you get sandstone stairs, so we're just gonna build. Nah, that's... There we go. But this is also Pakistan, so we kind of have to be accurate. They don't get this high quality stuff. I'm afraid in Pakistan they don't get high quality stuff. So we're gonna go slab instead. They all get sandstone slabs to sit on. Yeah, to build the prison. I mean, it might as well be prison with how underdeveloped it is. And also, they only have like 2 actual chairs. The rest, they have to sit on the floor. And also, it's not nearly as constructed, so we kind of have to break it a little bit. Okay. I think that's more accurate for Pakistan. Alright. Okay. Return to the library. Rosa Parks. Okay, we're going on to Rosa Parks. Famous Rosa Parks. Sit in the back of the bus, or you are, I don't know. You're arrested for not sitting in the back of the bus. March to the capital. Turn around. Okay, so we have to go this way. When are we going on the island? I don't know. Mojang needs to make that update first. We need the Jeffrey Epstein update first. we could probably rebuild Jeffrey Epstein's island in Minecraft though. Okay, I'm no expert. I am no expert. But I don't think the capital is in the middle of a rainforest. I'm not an expert on civil rights program, civil rights movement, but I'm sure that they did not start in a fucking forest to get to the... They should. I agree. They should make an Epstein Island map because we need to be educated on how human trafficking works so we can prevent it. Let's see what's going on in India. Why not? Independence for India. Delhi, India. Mahatma Gandhi inspired people around the world as a leader in the struggle for India's independence from English rule in the first half of 1900s. That's my impression of an Indian. You got it. Like John Lewis, Gandhi created and led non-violent protests, and he also found himself arrested on more than one occasion. Oh, what the fuck? Is that Gandhi? Mahatma Gandhi. Give Gandhi water. Okay. Here's water, Gandhi. Ah, yes. Thank you for the water. This is what is needed. Distract the guard. Where's the guard? Hello, my name is Kamila Bibabab. Kamila as in Campbell. Habiba Baba as in corn on the cab. Where is the guard? Where's the guard? Where's the guard? Hey. Oh, you got arrested. Or distract the guard before Gandhi gets arrested. Oh no. Where the fuck is the guard? Where is the guard? Okay, Gandhi hit his mother. Oh, where is the guard? How do you distract the guard? There we go. What's next? Give Gandhi water. Okay, what's over here? One hell of a depiction of India, Minecraft. Yeah, this is super thrilling. This is such a thrilling game. My only complaint is it seems a little bit too clean here. That's my only complaint. It's not completely accurate. Like, some of this structure needs to be destroyed. It needs more rust, more litter on the ground. Not enough cows, so. And Gandhi needs lots of water, apparently. He has been distracted. I don't know. I don't think we're in that village right now. Can I talk to Gandhi? Gandhi, let me talk to you. What's here? So this is how they encourage kids to peacefully protest, is by being a public nuisance. Okay. Build. Do I build here? Oh, what's this? John Lewis funeral. I look up John Lewis's funeral. Okay. I already found an inaccuracy. So the guy who... Oh no, he was black, okay. Ugh. I'll be honest, this is more boring than interesting. Or propaganda, it's more boring. And then woman suffering. Okay, let's do that one, since why not? But it's kind of, this is boring shit. Now I'm gonna tweet it's boring. The civil rights DLC on Minecraft. It's more boring than... I tweeted. That's true. Concord was better propaganda. This is ass. Amel Pankhutz. My throat is hurting. I'm not used to talking so much. Bring out the votes. What? Amelia. Hey, what is that though, yeah? Leaflet. Rupee. Hi, baby. My cat wanted to say hi. Penny, what is this? And government, I bet, blah, 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 boring. What are you? Okay, so, bring out the vote. You're gonna get spayed tomorrow. Haha, you're gonna lose your ovaries. Suffrage. Okay, so there should be 2 more, I guess. I'll be honest, I wanna show this to a 6-year-old and see if they understand any of it. Yeah, you have to play as a Nazi from World War II, and if you don't play it accurate, then you're going to hell. It's that simple. Where the fuck do I get 2 more voters? Maybe. I know you want attention, but you can't scratch me. I know. You want attention. You want attention, I know. Cat, Jones attention. Anything in here? Ballots. When is Minecraft gonna teach kids how to commit voter fraud? Oh, I can just break and enter into people's houses and make them vote for women's suffrage. Where'd she go? I think she left. Oh, you're just under my chair, okay. Build a stage for women's suffrage protests. Okay. Let's see. Let's see, rail. Let's see, barrel. We need a barrel. We got barrel. Barrel. I need a barrel. That's for like a dishwasher. Barrel. Let's see. Chemistry. What? Let's see. Why don't they have barrels? Here's a barrel. Alright. Alright, we also need a cauldron. Because how else are they gonna wash things? Here we go. Alright, so... want a... Let's see, we need... one of these will work. There we go. There we go. And then we just need to go up here. Because it says to build a stage for women's suffrage, so I'm going to build a kitchen. There we go. Stat. Do I have a carpet? I have a question why they try... Oh, they don't need to try hard to brainwash people. People are super easy to brainwash because they're kind of stupid, so... Because if you don't know, a lot of people tend to live with their brains off. So it makes it really easy to brainwash people without having to try to. So all they have to do is make low effort content like this and then, boom, brainwashed. Here. Grab a pressure plate. There we go. What you want, girl? There we go. Alright, I think this is... rate my stage for women's suffrage. Do you think it's good? Should I add anything before I put it up? do that for like flooring. I think this is pretty good. Ask me. Cauldron again. There we go. Like that. I think that's pretty good. I don't say so myself. Alright, let's continue. I want to see if it gets used. No, it didn't get used. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. During 9/11 is crazy. Oh boy. We gotta make sure. We gotta check if it was the thermite that. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was thermite that brought them down. It was definitely thermite. Okay, so we went through all of them. Final thoughts, I guess. Final thoughts on Good Trouble. Alright. Yo, Rosa Parks. No, wait, that's Maya. But yeah, this is. I'll give it like a 5 out of 10. It's boring. And it's definitely. I guess it has some historic to it, but I think it's also kind of trying to manipulate people. What the fuck do you want me to build? I don't want to build. I'm not going to build because it's not going to do anything. Alright. Read a book. Well. Propaganda, 1 out of 10. British propaganda, 7 out of 10. Well, I'm gonna rate this. I'll give it like a. I guess I'll give it like a 4 out of 10. On a scale 1 to 10 for propaganda, I'm gonna say it's like a 4. Like it's not. I don't see any white guilt in here, but it's definitely having bad intentions on kids. Enjoyability. Like, can a kid understand this? I'll give it like a 2 out of 10. I don't think a kid's gonna understand this level, really. And if you have like a 6-year-old play this, it's definitely gonna weaponize their mind more than actually try and educate them on it. Is it fun? 1 out of 10. It's like it's all right, but like there's not much going on. So overall score, I'll give it a 3 out of 10. I think 3 out of 10 is fair. Yeah, the kids, they can't even read. Like the fucking school that walked out in Los Angeles or whatnot. I don't know if it was Los Angeles, but they walked out in support of ICE. That school has a fucking literacy rate of like 17%. So, oh yeah, you need to eat, girl. You need to eat, girl. Yeah, I'm gonna feed you in a minute, okay, girl? Yeah, you definitely need to eat before 10 o'clock too. So, yeah, I probably have to go because I have to feed this cat, because if she doesn't, then she's not gonna eat till after she gets spayed tomorrow, and that's not gonna be good for her, right, girl? Yeah, you need some food. It's gonna be a while to get food again. Gonna be a pain in the ass to get you in the kennel tomorrow, though. Alright. I don't know if I'm gonna do more political stuff like this. I just wanted to check this out and see what this stuff actually was. Because I do agree with Jelly Hoshimi. I don't think Minecraft doesn't need this shit. Like, just like kids have fun on the game. I'm from America, so USA. So I do agree with Jelly Hoshimi when she says that it's unnecessary for this kind of stuff, because I get it. Minecraft has the education aspect, but at the same time, are kids really gonna care about this? No. Even if you put it into Minecraft, like from the get-go, kids don't give a fuck about race. Like they chill with each other. They don't fucking care. Racism only fucking happens when you teach it, right? Like, yeah, this happened back in like 1950s, but I feel like racism is more taught than it actually occurs naturally, because I don't think kids really care that much on skin color. They're like, yeah, there's shit. I saw some other stuff on, like, let's see what other add-ons they have. Like, it's like Minecraft will put all this time into making all these add-ons, or like the official ones. Like they'll put stuff into they'll make official add-ons for this one. but then they won't make good updates on Java. Now, what was that? There was a free one right here. What was that free one? I think some of these are indie developers too. But that's why I'm also just gonna go over to fucking Java, because it's free there. Mods and stuff tend to be free. So yeah. This is just a bunch of cash grab stuff. I want to dress. Yeah, it's also funny because they had this educational stuff, but then... Did you just jump on my lap, girl? Like, yeah, I just jumped up. Girl, there's no space for you to walk. There's literally cans all over the fucking desk. Where are you going to walk? Yeah, I'm gonna pet you. I'm pretty sure you can hear her purr. Girl, get off the desk. I'm streaming. Can you get off the desk, please? I'm gonna strum the guitar, and I know you hate the guitar. I'm gonna strum the guitar. Tiger, get your foot up in here. Thank you, girl. Oh, she finally got down. She's hungry, I think. That's funny because I feel like they also put historical lessons that push woke propaganda. Because you don't see them pushing, like, Civil War, the Union side, right? Or, like, how white people actively helped black people out of slavery. They don't do those stories. Or, I don't know, I feel like they're also very picky on what they want to teach. They're very picky. They're very picky. But I do think Jelly is still right. Like, she says, screw it, man. I think pushing politics in children's sandbox games is disgusting. And she's right. It is. Like, just let the kids have fun, man. Like, they go to school to learn this stuff, and then fucking schools are indoctrination camps these days. They don't need to be fucking indoctrinated while playing Minecraft, too. As, like, again, learning about civil rights history is not the problem, but the problem is they're presenting it for a woke agenda. You're trying to push white guilt, especially on kids who are young, who don't give a fuck about racism because they don't care. And if they're racist, it's because their parents fucking taught it to them. So, and then like stuff like this is also generating racism towards like white people, because like, oh, the evil white man is bringing down a brother for not letting the blacks sit together. It's creating white guilt and white racism too, more than trying to actually benefit history. I really wonder what this is targeted to, though. Like, what age demographic? I see. I'm curious what this... All add-ons. I think I have to go to the historic. Or educational. If I can find it. Like, save and quit. Back. Marketplace. Charles Booth. Charles Booth's London. I want to see what else they have. Also, they have Stranger Things on here, which is a pretty bad series. Education here. United States, you can get. Detect and diagnostic. Like, this would be something that's fine. London, sure, walk around London. Europe. Dairy craft, learn about, dairy farming. Quantum reality. Quantum realm? What kid is gonna want to learn about quantum physics? What? Why are we teaching kids about quantum physics in 2026? What else is there? Latin America. Fairgrounds, I guess. Good game. What is this? Cyber safety, is it? Every game can be a good game. Join a thrilling. Along the way, create a code of conduct, practice digital citizenship, and ensure everyone feels welcome on the team. What? Okay. What else is there? Ow! Why are you scratching my back? Jeez, you fucking read. Yeah, I'm gonna feed you. Calm the fuck down. Hey, is trying to stream. Maybe I love you, but you cannot be scratching on me. And also, you're very zoomy. We need to stop giving you catnip. They're not trying to make white people feel guilty. Yeah, they're definitely going after the kids. They're definitely trying to brainwash them from a young age. And like, not all of these are bad. I'd say, like, climate futures, this has no place being here because climate change propaganda is bullshit. Rip that shit out of here. Let's see. That doesn't need to be here. Human eye, sure. Human eye is interesting. ISS, sure. Marine biology, human biology. Now that depends if they're going with woke ideology where a man can be a woman. Learn to build towers. Yeah, so we can rebuild the Twin Towers, sure. Sustainable city. What's this about? Yep, here's some propaganda. Explore a sustainable neighborhood in a Minecraft. Investigate sustainable water treatment, responsible forestry, clean power generation, energy efficiency, water disposal. So there's a little bit of wokeism in there. Endangered animals, that's whatever. Philippines specifically. But, Peace Builders, what's this? Join 4 Nobel Peace Prize winners in a adventure. Okay. Latinx. There's a slur here. Right up here. Latinx. Hispanic community. Dinosaurs. We all know dinosaurs didn't fucking exist. Dinosaurs are fake. Kodokan. Okay. Rocket building. Become a fucking SpaceX engineer. Green energy. That's stupid. Yeah. I probably would not let my... If I had a kid, I would not let them on here. Mainly because this is also a waste of money, too. When you can get a lot of this for free online. So, I don't know. I'm just going to end the stream because I really need to feed her, but I'm probably going to end the stream here. I also saw that they are trying to say that Americans should not be proud of your history. Yeah, they've been doing that. They are saying that Americans stole the land from the Indians. No, we fought and we conquered the land. They should have. We conquered. Don't underestimate our power. We conquered. We did not steal. We conquered. We killed them for them. Yes, we did. We got into war, so we took their land. Yeah, they should have fought harder. That's what they should say. They should have fought harder to keep their land. Especially like when every other fucking country on Earth has conquered land in the past. France, Russia, Egypt. So, guys, I need to end stream because I gotta feed my cat because she only has like 3 hours left she can eat. So, yeah, there we're weak. Next stream, I should figure out. I don't know what I'm gonna do for next stream tomorrow. I don't know if I'm gonna stream tomorrow. Yeah, I gotta feed the cat. I don't know what I'm gonna do tomorrow. I don't know if I'm gonna stream tomorrow because I'm gonna be out late. If not Thursday, we might I might continue with Dark Souls, or I might go for a different game for a little bit because I've been playing a lot of Dark Souls and I need a little bit of a break from it. So I'm gonna figure out what for Thursday. It'll either be Dark Souls or we might even start on Dead Island 2 because I have Dead Island 2 as well I want to try out. So Yeah, have a good night. If you are interested, I do have a Discord server you can join if you want to stay connected on it. It should be in the description of Twitch, the Discord server, the link. But y'all have a